Welcome back to Running with Coach Tori.
And Jeff.
And usually we're bringing you the running news from the week to entertain you on your long run or give you something to talk about with your running group. But today we are answering running advice questions. And then because I always love these dumb games that never land, we're going to be talking about fictional characters, and ChatGPT has helped me come up with what their 5K times, mile times, whatever it is, and we're going to chat about it. So first we're going to get into some advice. So are you feeling particularly, I don't know, what's the word for someone who likes to give advice? There has to be a word.
I am.
Right?
I'm an advisor today. I am ready
There
to
you
advise.
Okay. So hi, Tori and Jeff. I'm running my first marathon and my partner says I'm, quote, in a relationship with my Garmin. And I feel like you can relate to this one. Any tips on how to balance serious training with keeping my actual relationship healthy? Maybe you're not the one for advice for this, but maybe you are.
Yeah, I think balance is obviously what he or she is trying to achieve. Is it a he or she? Any idea? Not that it matters.
It's all anonymous.
My advice is not gender specific.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, I think certainly a healthy relationship should be balanced with a healthy lifestyle. I don't feel like it should be one or the other. I do get a little obsessed myself with my times and my Garmin, and I'm now using the Aura Ring as my tracker, and I'm getting like, oh, I need to get my steps up, I need to get my activity up. So I'm a little bit guilty of it, but there's a lot of hours in the day you can balance between training for a marathon and balancing a relationship. I mean, even your long runs. How long does a long run take? 2 hours?
Yeah, I mean, marathon training, you're looking up to, they say not longer than 3 or 3.5 hours,
Yeah.
regardless of your pace. So
you're doing that a couple of times. You're doing that on a Sunday. I mean, I think you can squeeze it in. So my advice is, yeah, I mean, I keep the tracker. Forget the relationship. Oh, sorry, that's not true. Keep the
what kind of
keep the Garmin and the relationship. You can do both. It's not one or the other.
Oh my God, we're not doing an advice episode ever again. Yeah, I mean, I think that, it's kind of one of those things. It's there's the obvious answer, right? You just have to find a balance. But I also think if you're struggling on how to make your life balanced, get a coach, because you really, I mean, like you said, you don't need to be running like crazy if you're running marathons, unless again, running is now your job. And then that is more of your 9 to 5. So that makes more sense. But yeah, if you're just a pedestrian runner, your long run once a week, you're not supposed to be doing 20 miles for weeks and weeks and weeks anyway. So you're not looking at those super long runs on a Saturday. So, yeah. And it's fun to track all the things on your Aura Ring or your Garmin and stuff, but it's you don't need to become obsessed. But also, you're running 1 or 2 marathons a year, also communication, right? I'm sorry, this is going to be the next 2 months. And then I have, the taper time and then my race. And then I'm going to be taking some time off. So, we can plan something, right? So yeah, balance, right? Do you like your Aura Ring, by the way?
I do. I've only had it for a little over a week, and I do like it. It's very similar. I mean, I've had the Whoop, I've had the Fitbit, I've had a lot of them, but so far I like it. It's a little bit when you're doing lifting, it's a little bit in the way sometimes, right? So I don't normally wear any jewelry, so it's a little bit unusual for me.
Right. No, that makes sense. All right, next one. Dear Coach Tori, I guess this is just me. I keep bonking on long runs, but I swear I'm fueling. What's the best way to figure out what works for my stomach without turning every Saturday into a science experiment? I mean, obviously we both can answer this one, right? But you've done a little experimenting, I feel with fueling, and you've definitely bonked a bunch of things. Have you just done have you just done trial and error, or what has worked for you?
Yeah. So what's worked for me is, you do have to get that fuel ahead of time, right? So it's my difficulty is fueling while I'm running.
Mhm.
Not I do a good job with fueling ahead of time. Like I eat the oatmeal, big bowl of oatmeal with some fruit and stuff, 2 hours beforehand. So I think I fuel well ahead of time. So I think that's piece one of the advice is make sure you're topped off before you run. Don't eat a huge bowl of oatmeal 5 minutes before you run. But yeah, you take an hour or two and find what fuels you well in a run. For a while I did the Cliff Bars. For a while I did sandwiches and just brought those. Peanut butter is not the best answer in my mind for while you're running. If you're running at a hard pace, I tried that. That was a mistake. So I probably have a more mistake advice than I do like good advice. But yeah, I think it's both fueling before you run and getting that fuel during your run. Try the gels, see what works for you. You got to try. It is trial and error. It's gels I don't love, but they are convenient. Sandwiches not necessarily convenient to be carrying around. The Cliff Bars and those other power bars and the those goos. I think those work for a lot of people, and there's a reason people use them.
Yeah, I think unfortunately there is some element to like it is going to have to be like a science experiment kind of thing. Like you do have to try it out, but you don't have to only try like there's nothing that says you can't fuel like your other easy short runs. And I've definitely had some people who whether they don't know what works for their stomach or if they found a lot of things aren't working for their stomach, I will have them try on different runs, like see how this works for before you're running or see how this works mid run and if that feels right. And again, things will change depending on the effort and everything. But it does give you a good place to start. So you will have to do a little bit of that experimenting, but it doesn't have to only wait till your long runs on Saturday. Um, so yeah, and again, like great with fueling before, so you don't, you're not solely relying on what you're eating while you're running. And then also like crowdsourcing, I think can be helpful. Obviously, everyone's a little different, but they do make ones that are specific for easy on your stomach, or you can Reddit or wherever is going to have people being like, I do the bread with honey or whatever it is, just to give you some ideas so you're not like taking everything to try as an idea. But yeah, I think that a lot of it is going to be trying some stuff and trying to be as scientific as possible. I know you're not looking for a science experiment, but trying to be as scientific as possible. So you're not trying like, I'm trying a electrolyte drink and a new gel or whatever at the same time. And then you're like, I don't know which one worked and was, the problem or whatever it is. So a little bit of experimenting, but try to also, you can do it on your other runs to give you a better idea because you might know if something totally is not working or like, oh, this actually worked on my, 30-minute easy run on Monday. Let me try it again on Saturday kind of thing. Sorry, my stomach is like growling, so I really hope no one hears that. All right. My job and parenting schedule mean I can only run on a treadmill lately. I definitely have a lot of people that say that too. It's mentally crushing me. Any tips on staying motivated when your scenery never changes? You've recently started to like the treadmill, but you do speed work only on the treadmill, is that right?
That historically, yes, but right now, since I'm only doing I'm not doing a lot of speed work. I'm only doing just normal runs. I'll call them easy runs. I'm doing only treadmill at the moment. I like the treadmill. I think the treadmill is a great tool. I think it's best for speed work, but I do think it's mind-numbingly boring for long runs. Um, but I've discovered the YouTube. You probably have heard of YouTube, people. But you can watch anything you want, right? Sometimes I'll watch a marathon, like if there's a recent marathon, I'll watch one of those. Um, I'm a video game guy, so I'll watch some video game coverage at times. So I have a TV in there. I have an iPad I can put right in the middle of the screen if I want to, right in the middle of the treadmill. So I do find if you just do it without any entertainment, it is very, very mentally draining.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to get what you're trying to get out of it. But if you can lose yourself in either in a TV show or podcast or something on an iPad that's visually in the middle of the screen. Um, I think it's a great tool. I'm going to give a treadmill is one of the best running tools out there.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people, this is like not new novel ideas, but a lot of people will save like a specific show that they only watch when they're running. And I know I do that because I can't stand running on the treadmill. So I will only watch, a very specific show that I'm like, I won't watch it unless I get up early enough to go on the treadmill, blah, blah, blah. So that does help a little bit with motivation. And then if you're really just into like the scenery stuff, I mean, I imagine like a new treadmill is not usually in people's budget, but they do have those treadmills that you can pick those. I don't remember which ones they are now. And I'm sure, again, like you said, YouTube, you can probably find them, but they have those like the trail drones that
Yeah.
do like, they go on those courses. So you could actually be like visually outside or whatever it is, going up a trail and a mountain, blah, blah, blah. So, that's like an option too. And if you don't have that kind of treadmill, then you could do that on YouTube. And then also, again, things with money, but you don't have to have like the Peloton equipment to have a Peloton account or whatever it is. And I believe they have some good like running workouts now. So you could have the app, and so you could do like join a class on there on the treadmill as well, which like could be fun because you're not like alone on there and they're like entertaining you, I guess. So I feel like that is another good one. Um,
Before you jump off that one, I do have some almost free. This one might cost you 2 or 3 cents. Is take a sheet of paper and put it over your screen on your treadmill. Because by the way, the most psychologically draining part of a treadmill is watching the time go by slowly, watching a
mhm,
little person go around the track on this treadmill very slowly, knowing that you have, maybe you're in lap one and you've got 16 laps to go. That all
mhm.
of that's very draining. It just reminds you of how uncomfortable you are and how much longer you have to go. So I found if I just cover that screen, that the time will fly by a lot more. And again, fly by is not the best term to use because it's still not great, but
Right.
it's way better than me watching the little man walk around that treadmill.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one too. All right, we'll do two more. All right, dear Coach Tori, I tried Body Glide, Vaseline, and even baby powder. The chafing is killing my vibe. Help. Um, all right, so I have ones that I've never done Body Glide. I guess it also depends where the chafing is because I've had people also ask about like the randomest places. And I'm like, I don't even know how that's even happening to your arm or whatever it is. Um, there's a couple things. So Body Glide should be pretty good, I believe. I've always found that deodorant is like the best one because it stops like the moisture, but also has like a smoother element to it. So like Vaseline ends up like wearing off, right? I know people have talked about like using lube and that, eventually that does wear off. So try deodorant. The spray on kind works as well, like just as well as, the roll on that's I've never done like the gel one, but like the white powdery kind usually works pretty well. And then another thing that I've also talked to people about depending on location is like clothing. And if it is, yeah, you're about to say clothing too, like ill fitting, because I know like women have issues with like sports bra bands, whether it's underneath or like in your armpit and stuff. And then definitely like it is the way your clothes are either absorbing or not absorbing the moisture, and or if they're loose, tight, whatever it is, like they're going to be causing problems too. So switch out your clothes if it's not like, so mine's usually like my legs, and then that's the problem. That's where I use deodorant. But if it's like arms, body, anything else that is probably clothing related, I would say change up the clothes. Is that what you were
Yeah,
going to say?
no, that was my biggest advice was going to be clothing is number one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very rare that the chafing is a result of skin to skin contact. It's usually skin to clothing
Hmm.
contact that's causing the chafing. Now, occasionally you will get sort of skin to skin contact, and that's where I think those lubricants are the answer there. But
Hmm.
otherwise, it's usually clothing to skin and that constant rubbing. I've had it a few times where the shorts I was wearing just caused if I had my phone in my pocket, it caused like a nasty rub on my leg that was just incredibly painful. at
Yeah.
some point in time. So yeah, I think you got to mix up the clothing. You got to find out what's causing it. Is it skin to skin or clothing to skin? And then attack it that way. And that's your answer: is either change your clothing or use a lubricant.
I love it. And good luck because that stinks. All right, last one. Hi, Jeff and Tori. I'm a dad of three and secretly use my long runs to just get out of the house for 2 hours. I run, but I also sit on a park bench. Is that wrong? Yeah.
Yes, I'll start this one by saying yes.
Unless whoever's staying home with the kids knows this is your 2 hours to run and or do whatever, uh, that's wrong.
Yeah, I think lying about it's wrong. One, you're going to pay the price when you go do your marathon. By the way, sitting in the park is not the best training technique.
Right. They're like, why are you still bad at running? You've been running for 2 hours every week. What's happening? And you like can't finish, your 5K? That's weird. Yeah. So that will catch up with you for sure. And karma is a B, and that will get you as well. And also, like, what if they're like, "Oh, I'm going to take the kids to the park now too," and they're like, "Hey, why is Dad just sleeping on this bench away from us?" Yeah, this is a bad move. Even if you're going to use your 2 hours and you don't want to run the whole time, like walk while you're, scrolling on your phone or whatever. Walk around the park. I don't know.
Yeah,
Bad, bad, bad,
yeah.
bad.
I mean, I'm all for people need time to themselves. People need to work on themselves, and whether it be running or walking in the park and all that great stuff. So I'm okay with that. It's the line if there is
If there's
lying
lying.
involved, right? If I'm telling my wife I'm going for a long run for the purpose of going to the park and sitting down and just avoiding them, well, that's probably not fair to the other person, the spouse.
Yeah.
To say, oh yeah, I'm going to bail now for 2 hours because I need my mental health. Again, you might need mental health help, and therefore you might need that 2 hours alone to sort of just decompress and refresh to be a better person and a better spouse. So all that's good. It's the not being honest about it is probably so. Just sit down with your spouse, have a conversation, and I gotta hope that your spouse will be. You know what? I understand that you do need this, and whether you feel like running or don't feel like running, you take your 2 hours, go be by yourself.
Yeah, no, I agree. And also like parenting hack, wake up early, set their alarm a little earlier, even though like I hate waking up at, 4:45 or 5 or whatever, but it's like being able to sit by myself on my couch instead of a park bench for 10, 20, 30 minutes, whatever it is, like it is nice. So I get it. Good luck. And that's what we have for advice. So if you also are seeking some very generic advice from two people who barely know what they're talking about, feel free to email in or even leave it in a comment, whatever it is. And then we'll get into just a couple of our fictional people. I don't know why I'm always trying to do famous people's marathon times, fictional characters, whatever, animals versus people. I can't help myself. Um, so we have a couple. We've talked about Forrest Gump before. I don't think on this show. I think we watched Forrest Gump for one of our Raising Runners movie episodes. So I asked ChatGPT about these fictional. Well, I asked them to come up with a list of fictional people too, and they picked like such random people. But so Forrest Gump, I'll tell you his stats, and you tell me how realistic you think this is, or whatever reactions to this. So Forrest Gump allegedly would probably run a 1945 5K, a 40/30 10K, a 250 marathon. His training style is ultra endurance based miles forever. His notable quirks are he never stretches, never fuels, just runs when he feels like it. Fun facts: once ran around America without a GPS, gels, or Strava. Um, yeah, I feel like that's. Isn't he like always sprinting though? Like, is he running a marathon? I don't know.
Yeah, he does both. I think he sprints down his driveway and runs away from the bullies. But he
Mm-hmm.
also then just sort of starts running, and then he just doesn't stop until he does stop, which is like months and months later after he ran across and back and forth across America several times.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, I didn't see. I based on his pacing, from my recollection, I don't think he's a 250 marathon. I think that's I'm going to call BS on that. I do think he was fast, so I do think his 5K and 10K times are legit, but his marathon time, nope, no, not gonna. I'm not buying it. Not buying it.
Yeah, I wish they would have extrapolated on like what his time across the US was, because we read that one book about the guy who ran across America, right?
Yeah, yeah. Something, somebody. Yeah, another one
Yep.
of these
That
works.
one. Yep. And then, my very outdated reference is always there's a Dwight Schrute reference here. So, The Office, right?
I do. I know The Office. I know who Dwight
Okay.
is. Yep.
So they predict that he would run a 21:15 5K, a 45-minute 10K, a 3:55 marathon that he insists on doing in boots. His training style would be cross training with beet farming and machete drills. Notable quirks: refuses electrolyte drinks and uses a Schrute beet elixir. And fun fact, he claims his heart rate never goes above 60 BPM. Okay. I don't remember. I thought he did pretty well in that one episode where they run a 5K. So 21:15, I'm into it. I don't think he's running a marathon though.
No, it's not in boots. Not with
Not
a
in
heart
boots.
rate
He
of
wears
60.
sneakers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Peter Parker slash Spider-Man.
I know
Um,
who Peter Parker is.
you know who Peter Parker is. Okay. In case people don't, it's Spider-Man. Um, what do you think? Do you think he's fast or not? I don't ever see him
I'm
running.
Peter Parker. Yeah, I mean, is he going to be able to use his web shooting abilities, or is this just as Peter Parker, not as Spider Man?
Well, it doesn't.
It says Peter Parker, so we're going to go with the he can't use his web shooting abilities. Um, yeah, I mean, he strikes me as he's young. He's a little
True.
athletic, a little bit of a geek, but athletic. So I'm going to give him credit for whatever they came up with. I'm going to say he could do that.
So he runs a 16-minute 5K.
Bullshit. Sorry, go
he,
ahead.
he runs a 32:30 10K. And he DNFs all marathons due to constant detours to stop crimes. His training style is parkour plus sprint intervals chasing bad guys. Notable quirks: never ties his shoes, he webs them on. And fun facts: he runs up walls to avoid traffic on group runs.
All right, so he can use his spider abilities during these runs. Then, okay.
I guess, yeah. But he's not webbing across the 5K, I guess.
No, no, no. You could cover a lot more ground in the time that he's given there, though.
I can hear my son banging on God knows what downstairs.
Buy him a drum set. That's the next gift I'm going to give him is a drum set.
I was like the world's worst friend, and I gave one of my friends, I think it was on her son's first birthday, like a Blues Clues drum set with like the cymbals. Like it was horrible, but I did. Um, anyway, moving on. This is a personal favorite: Gandalf the Grey from Lord of the Rings. Are you familiar?
I am familiar with him. Gandalf is. I mean, he's not running a marathon. Not doing it. In
What do you
fact,
mean? He hiked through Middle Earth. He only rode a horse sometimes,
I'm
and
not
he's a
giving
wizard.
Gandalf a lot of credit on this one. I think Gandalf's too old. He's in the Masters League.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So his 5K is going to be 27:40. So he is on the, not the speediest of our fictional people. His 10K is 56 flat. His marathon's 4:30 with long strategic walking breaks. Training style is long, patient hikes over Middle Earth, obviously. Notable quirks: races in robes and carries a staff. I feel like there has to be a world record for fastest marathon in a robe with a staff, right? Like there's all those silly,
Yeah.
silly ones, and I feel like there is one of those. Fun fact: he's never DNF'd. A wizard arrives precisely when he means to. Ha ha ha.
He's not doing a 4:30 and taking long walking breaks. I've taken long walking
No,
breaks, and it's hard to do a 4:30.
for sure. I mean, yeah, long unless it's like the fastest walking in the world. I don't know. No, that's crazy. And then Rocky Balboa, which we've seen lots of Rocky running, and
I
we've
know
done
who
the
Rocky
Rocky
is.
Run. So his 5K is 20 flat, his 10K is 41 flat, his marathon's 3. I guess Chat GPT got lazy on the seconds here. His marathon would be 3:30. I feel like those are all by. You don't think so?
No, I mean, I didn't see the endurance of the long run. I mean, yes, he's a boxer and
Yeah.
they've got great endurance from a standpoint of that's boxing endurance. That's different than you get a minute break every 3 minute effort. Um, so I'm gonna go with good with the 10K and the 5K time. I'm gonna question, in my opinion, the marathon time.
But he ran all over the city.
He did.
Isn't that far?
It's far, but that's like 10K far.
You think?
That's like 6 mile far. It's not. It is not 26 far.
Hmm. I assumed that was like much further. I didn't know like what his route was though. Training style, old school urban terrain, runs with kids chasing him, as we've seen. Only trains to Eye of the Tiger and eats raw eggs pre-run. It's like they were talking about the movie. It's like exactly. Fun fact: logged more stairs than most trail runners. There's a couple other ones that I just like not that interesting. Like Phoebe Buffet. I'm not going to go through her stuff, but remember I was telling you about that Friends episode where the girl was running like a crazy person through the park? I don't
Uh,
know why I was referencing this.
vaguely, Phoebe Buffay, is that from Friends? Because that's one I
Yeah.
don't know. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna skip that one because I feel like I mentioned this exact scenario before, and you were like, I don't know what you're talking about. All right, we'll do because there's like no women on this list. We'll do Katniss Everdeen. You're familiar?
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Hunger Games. Okay, 5K in 1820, 10K 3710. Believable.
Katniss can do anything, in my opinion, right? She can survive Hunger Games. Come on, anything.
Marathon 310 on a trail with full survival gear,
Ah, impressive.
and it's real. Training style, forest trails with elevation, usually while evading death. Always runs in boots, refuses headphones, can maintain a solid 8 minute pace even with a bow and a quiver.
8 minute pace. Does that translate? I guess maybe that translates to her. It seems like her marathon time would have to be a little bit faster than 8 minute pace, but
Yeah,
okay.
but it's AI. They're flawed.
All right.
Let's see. Oh, here's another unbelievable one because I just don't really like this character, and then we'll end it here. Well, I also didn't know who this was. Stephen Rogers. Do you know who that is? Before I tell you who that is,
Steven Rogers. Nope. Do not know.
Captain America. Apparently, that's his name.
Oh,
Know that?
okay. I know who Captain America is.
Yeah. So I'm not really into Captain America lore or any of that, but allegedly he would run a 14:35K. That makes sense for Captain America,
I mean, it seemed like it.
and a
I mean,
29 flat 10K.
okay, it's not impressive for Captain America. I
Right,
mean,
he's like a fake suit. Like it'd be like Superman, like flying. It'd be like okay, 3 seconds, right? Like
yeah.
isn't he like kind of like Superman? Does he
I,
fly?
apparently, he's got no super skills in running. I suppose.
Huh.
I mean, it's good for a human, but I mean, he's more than a human.
Right. 2:15 marathon time, even if he even breaks a sweat. Training style, high speed laps around the Lincoln Memorial, I guess. Notable quirk, yells on your left even when no one's there. Why would he do
I don't know that reference, but okay.
that? Okay. Doesn't use carbon plated shoes, says they feel too slow. Maybe this would make sense if we knew Captain America better, but
Yeah, I've seen Captain America. I mean, why not do the Flash? Why not? I like your like. How fast would Superman do it? How fast would the Flash do it? How much would Sonic the Hedgehog? I mean, give me some characters who are fast. I want to hear what a fast character can do.
all right, give me 2 seconds. Sonic the Hedgehog. You said the Flash, Superman and the Flash.
Yep,
Was there any other ones?
that's it.
Okay, let's see. What do they say here? Sonic the Hedgehog. I didn't even think of that. And that's like making a resurgence right now. People love Sonic.
So, of those three, who do you think wins?
It's doing the wrong thing. No.
Who do you,
Uh let me see. Well, I would Superman, right?
I mean, he's Superman for a reason, right?
Yeah, I don't know the Flash that well. Oh no. I confused it. I forgot what's happening
All
here.
right. Well,
Well, next time.
well, I've got a list here. So I've got a list. Let's see. Um, they have number one on this cartoon list. By the way, uh, Superman is number three.
Oh.
Number two is the Silver Surfer. I don't know the Silver Surfer.
Is that from The Incredibles? No.
Yeah, I think he's from Marvel somewhere.
Oh.
Um, and then the Flash. The Flash is number one, by the way, on this list of cartoon characters. So Flash is number one. Sonic. I don't even
Doesn't
see
make the
Sonic on
list.
this list. Let's see. Sonic is in here somewhere. Let's see. I see SpongeBob. Somehow
How fast does SpongeBob run?
SpongeBob made the list. Um, Sonic he's way down the list. Sonic is number 18, 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe next time we'll be doing fastest fictional characters ranked or fastest cartoon characters ranked from 1 to 10 or whatever. We'll have to come up with a new one. But or if you're looking for advice, you can also email us in to give us suggestions of characters to talk about on how fast they are. Or if you hate this, please leave a 5-star rating and then tell me that you hate these dumb ideas I keep having. So if it's 5 stars, I will read it. And that's all we got. So enjoy your summer. Again, we don't know when we're going to be back. It's all a toss up until the fall. So hopefully you're at the beach running on the sand or the boardwalk. Both are bad for your body, but